My name is Nikhil Pandey. I'm a part of the marketing team at Suraj, a 30-year-old company which has delivered close to 40 projects in Dadar, Prabhadevi, and Mahi, and so achieved a figure of 10 lakh square feet space. These projects house close to 2,000 families and corporates as well. Now, talking about the issue at hand, the coronavirus. Firstly, we hope that each one of you are keeping yourself safe and your loved ones as well. The pandemic has certainly caused turbulence in our lives and our businesses as well. And keeping in mind that sentiment, the topic of discussion today is real estate business beyond COVID-19, followed by details of our projects and a special scheme for our customers and channel partners as well. The webinar would be of 1 hour. It's moderated by our director, Mr. Rahul Thomas. Over to you, Rahul.
Thank you, Nikhil. Good evening, my esteemed panelists and all my respected channel partners and viewers. We would like to welcome all of you to the first webinar of Suraj Estate Developers. Today, we have a confluence of very important stakeholders from our real estate industry, each one masters in their craft and brought together for this session of knowledge sharing to understand real estate post-COVID-19. Friends, we have a panel of titans this evening. Let me take this opportunity to introduce our titans. Our first panelist is Mr. Balaji Raghavan, Managing Partner, Chief Investment Officer of IIFL Asset Management, an authority in fundraising. Since his joining in IIFL in 2010, he has built up an investment book of more than $1 billion with over 70 transactions. So we are proud to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you, Rahul.
Our second panelist doesn't need an introduction in our real estate fraternity. Mr. Raj Singh, Director, Residential Sales, Mumbai, Anarok Property Consultants, India's leading consultant, and the brain behind all of Anarok's successful launches. We welcome you, Raj, sir.
Thank you, Rahul.
Our third panelist is Mr. Harish Sharma, having 20 plus years experience in real estate advisory, stockbroking, wealth management, and is the CEO of Centrum Real Estate Management and Advisory, bringing a holistic solution to selling for us developers. So thank you for taking part in our discussion today. Fourth on our list is Mr. Prashant Kamra, Vice President of one of the most prestigious channel partner association, namely Smart Realtors Association, and Director of Prashant Kamra Realtors. Thanks for being here, Prashant. And lastly, Mr. Amit Gala, promoter of Value Properties and is a channel partner who's closely associated with Suraj for a long time. His holistic views on real estate is something we always consult him. Thanks, Amit, for joining us this evening.
Thanks, Rahul.
Can't wait to hear each one's view and get started. Our viewers are waiting to get answers from all of you. Balaji, sir, I think we'll start with you. The toughest and the million-dollar question, not when, but how will the financial markets and real estate markets react post-COVID-19 environment? We have been attending webinars day in and day out, but I think your point of view is what everyone is eager and waiting to hear. So over to you, sir.
Firstly, I think I like this term of yours, post-COVID-19. So it's as if some tsunami has come and gone and we are all sort of, waiting for that to go and then, we start. Unfortunately, that's not the situation. As we see it, I think we need to really redefine some of our expectations as to what is post-COVID-19, right? So as we knew life pre this virus hitting the world, I think that has changed for some time to come. Firstly is that I think this entire situation of post-COVID-19 is also going to be a prolonged and a bit of a painful one. When I say bit, I'm just trying to soften the blow. It is going to take time, even though we expect that, let's say, lockdown in some parts of the country will go away in some time. Cities will start functioning again partially, and it'll take a few weeks. So certainly, I think getting out of this situation itself is going to take a few weeks, maybe a few months, right? And after that also, I think once, let us say, we reached a we reach a certainty that, let's say, this is not going to happen again by means of discovering a vaccine or whatnot, or a cure
Right.
or whatever that is, because I'm not a medical man, so I won't know what it is. So that also, from whatever I've been hearing, reading, is, I think, about at least about a bare minimum about a year away. So therefore, as we see life, especially in our sector and so on, it's going to take probably almost, I would say, a year to 12 to 18 months by the time we get back to some semblance of normalcy, so to say, right?
Right.
Now, coming to what you asked me as to, how will the capital therefore flow and what will happen.
Yes, sir.
Now,
How will?
as I see it now, I think that in this period of uh, various lockdowns and muted business activity, and people still not being able to go back to work fully, where economic activity is not fully back to 100% and so on.
Right.
Wherever possible, I think most capital providers will focus on projects and buildings across segments which are probably underway, right? So
Right.
whereby the focus is there right now, that once, let's say, the market starts coming back again and reacting a little positively, then at
Right.
least we have our products progressing, we have our construction progressing. What used to be on, let's say, maybe first slab or second slab, maybe pre-COVID, reaches at least, a structure stage by the time it goes to what you call post-COVID. So I think the
Right.
capital deployment will be focused on existing portfolios of
Right, sir.
most players today, where again, the focus, as I said, will be on getting the work going, getting whatever regulatory approvals are possible to obtain and so on, and move on, and at least try and build confidence in the market by backing the developers where we people like us have invested, so that the buildings are up and running, right?
Right.
So I think that is one stage which we will see.
Right, sir.
Secondly, I think also what we will see is that in this, I would call it two stages: the intermittent stage and then the post, as you call it, where things may
Post-COVID.
start coming back to normal. So in the intermittent stage, I think the capital focus will be more on trying to keep things running, trying to complete things and so on. However, needless to say, there will also be some investors who will keep looking for opportunities, because times like these also throw up opportunities. It's not that,
Absolutely.
it's zero today. However, few and far, and one will have to act very swiftly to get
Right.
to avail of these opportunities. And the community out here who's probably listening in will have to keep their eyes and ears open for such opportunities, and
Right.
keep trying to sort of, keep the kitchen fires burning, so to say.
Right.
So, as I see it, new investments into anything large, any, let's say, ground up kind of development, etc., will only happen when there is a visibility of, things coming back to normal, right? I would not even say coming back to normal. There's a visibility. For
Right.
example, let's say 3 months down the line, 1 quarter or 2 quarters down the line, once, let's say, we realize that, look, okay, this is how the segments will look like. This is how, this is what is the time frame which is required. So then things will start moving.
Right.
So, for example, today I was talking to a very large landowner in Bangalore, and
Yeah.
what they say, and they had done two deals with, again, two very large private equity funds, both in the
Right.
office space, in the commercial
Right.
space. And this is ground up kind of development.
Right.
And I was just taking stock as to what's happening and so on. So they said that, look, they continue to do the deal. The reason being is that by the time they actually come up with the end product, it's going to be 3 years. And
Absolutely.
hopefully, in the next 3 years to 4 years, we will be anyway back to normal. So why
Right, sir.
waste time today in, thinking about all this and, getting into a shell? So might as
Right.
well focus capital on delivering, building, etc., so that you're ready when the market comes back again. So
Okay.
nothing is sort of, changed for them. And these I'm
Okay.
talking about are two very large marquee private equity commercial investors, international, and one of the largest landlords of Bangalore. So it's not a small kind of a deal and deal sizes and small
Right.
products that I'm
Transaction.
talking about. Yeah.
Right, sir.
So therefore, I think even though there is a lot of despondency and there is a lot of predictions of doomsday, etc., I think ultimately we have to look back and see. When we look back and see, we will see that what we have lost is probably just about maybe 12 to 18 months or maybe 24 months of our lives. And in a
Right.
lifespan, which is a career span of, let's say, 20, 25, 30 years, it's nothing.
Right. Right.
Right. So obviously there will be an economic impact. Obviously things will change. The way things look, feel around us will change.
Right.
Doesn't mean end of life. Doesn't mean that the sector is going down, etc., etc. Capital will continue to get deployed. There is immense amount of liquidity globally. It has to find its way into attractive propositions, and it will continue to do so. It's just that today it will take a pause. It will be slow. It will come back over a period of time and get redeployed into probably segments which we could never think of before.
Right, sir.
That's the way I see it.
So so what about pure play equity flowing into the residential projects? I mean, or will it only still be debt and structured debt models which will be prevalent today? Do you foresee any of pure play equity coming into the sector?
So I think, Rahul, see, if you see debt and structured debt, any which ways, I think became a thing of the past, even pre-COVID. See, because
Right.
if you see a lot of the NBFCs being in trouble because of various reasons, the large ones especially, which you have seen,
Right.
substituting equity, which actually, if you see, this debt, NBFC debt and quasi debt, structured debt, etc., is nothing but equity. The reason it
Right.
was being done in that form and structure was because the balance sheets and the platforms where the money was being raised was such it was easy to
Right.
raise money in that form. It could be levered and so on, right?
Right.
And it was just that it was a means of raising capital and it was a means of deploying, right?
Okay.
So any which ways, I think COVID or no COVID, that was anyway a thing of the past. So the
Right.
way capital stacks will look like as far as the sector is concerned going forward is very clear, is that prior to your launch approval and launch stage, right, where you might
Right.
require money for, let's say, acquisition, clearing up, and pre project startups and your all those other things which you require money for, has to be
Yeah.
equity money, right? Whether
Okay.
it's and it would be a combination of promoter equity and probably external equity.
Right.
And post that would have to be a working capital debt, right, and sales receivables. So that is the only two capital stacks which I see going forward.
Awesome.
And this
Okay.
is, I don't think COVID has anything to do with that.
So thank you for that insight. So what about interest rates being? I mean, we're reading that interest rates are at an all-time low. Do you think
Yeah,
this
we
will
will
impact
continue to
purchasers
see
buying?
that, hopefully. Yeah, hopefully we will continue to see that, because ultimately, if you see, the central banks all around have been pushing liquidity into the market to try and give some, reprieve to the markets and the lenders and so on and so forth. Despite that, there are no takers because the banks are also reluctant to lend and so on and so forth. But so therefore, as long as the supply remains more than the demand, the rates will remain low. There's no question about it.
Right.
And I don't see any challenge of inflation spoiling the whole interest rate equation, because anyways, I think the demand across is going to remain low across all goods, all segments.
Right.
Oil prices are at an all-time low. So inflation, therefore, going up is very unlikely. So I think this benign interest rate scenario will continue for some time. And
Okay.
aside from that, of course, this is not going to be the only driver for people to come back and buy residential or any other real estate. There has to be a lot of other incentives that the government will have to put out in order to spur demand yet again. Aside from creating employment, putting money in the hands of people and all those things, there'll be a lot of other measures, and I would expect some of them to come very soon.
So any key factors which you think we can take up through our association with the government or the regulators? Just your few points which you think can give impetus to the current markets.
Well, I think there are a lot of forums which are already doing that, but then more the merrier.
Right.
I think CREDAI, as well as NAREDCO, as well as a lot of the financial services players, banks, everyone put together has been pushing the government, nudging the government to give deeper incentives for home buyers, such as tax breaks, increasing tax breaks significantly. In fact, somebody like us has gone to, we have gone to the extent of saying that, why put a limit at all? Let whoever buy whatever they want and claim the whole thing as a, tax break. So how does it matter? I mean, if you look at the impact of that on the entire revenue, it's barely anything, right? So I think that's going to be a major factor to bring customers back if they see something attractive. So it has to be, see, the dynamics while purchasing, the price while purchasing a home, for example, is that there are three things, right? One is the cost of money. Second is the absolute price of the house that you're buying. And third is obviously what is it that I'm getting in terms of subsidies or taxes and so on and so forth, right?
Absolutely.
So I think all these three will be addressed, some by government intervention, some by market intervention.
Right. So I think, sir, thank you for this information. I'm sure all our viewers will be taking notes on these key aspects which you've spoken about. Our next panelist is Mr. Raj Singh. Mr. Raj Singh, being part of Anarok's, Anarok leading property consultants. Our viewers will be wanting to know, sir, Rajji, a few points on how can absorption of inventory be strategized and what product mix will sell today. Please share us your thoughts.
So firstly, thank you, Rahul, for getting into the new way of working, and congratulations for setting up a large platform to have this interaction going on.
Thank you.
As very well, some know nothing much changes from there. So just firstly, would like to brief you on what residential real estate portfolio scenario is in current market today. If we have to talk about it, 84% of Indian real estate is really residential business, where we conducted a kind of a survey with a lot of buyers and in a quantum amount of a lot of buyers that we had visited through us and seen properties through us. We found many were very, very positive. I can tell you, surprisingly, I've been getting this feedback consistently from the buyer that I wish I had a house looking at the current situation. The parent were forcing, the wife was kind of telling me that let's get the house. And unfortunately, my belief was more into being rental house versus in the own house. I think that is currently changing, and that's bringing little upswing in the market.
Right.
Many reasons for that. If you see the interest rate is, I think, lower than the last 14 years that currently we have. There are many cities that are differentiating currently between the landowners and the tenants. That is pushing the buyer actually to really, really think that why I was a tenant, why didn't I buy the buyer? So that motivation to buy a house is, I think, really felt now. Because an Indian, we always believed in roti, kapda and makan. And I think in due course, we got makan, we continued with roti, kapda. So I think the makan focus will come back in consumer mind now. And we're witnessing that is coming back. But with the change. So what post
So sorry, I think you're not audible.
was there because the COVID is the right answer. Am I audible?
Yeah, sir. Now you're audible. Yes, yeah.
I'm saying the post-COVID, how the market used to trade, will it trade like that or it will change? I think it will change completely. What used to be post-COVID, it may not be the same. The consumer behavior, the partners' behavior, the meetings and the webinars, I think we all are learning a new way of doing this business.
Right.
Strategically, we have a data which we have procured. Before COVID, what was China? 30 top city of China used to sell as a house. They used to sell 5,000 houses a day. 30 city of China.
Okay. So, Raji,
but during this COVID time that there's 8 weeks, 10 weeks. Am I audible now, Rahul?
Yeah. Now you're audible. Yes, sir.
So I'm just saying, I was just on the China, and the China had, used to sell 5,000 houses in 30 cities across China. But in the COVID, I think they did only sell off a zero apartment. Zero apartment they sold. But recently in March 2020, they have sold in a month, and they're completely seeing the witness type of shape of recovery this COVID-19 impact in China market. So I think that's what the I'm looking at it from a
So you're
maybe a
taking
little bit
China as an
close
example, and
eyes that yeah, that's the only example that we currently have because that's the country got affected as a COVID the first, and then
absolutely,
everybody followed. So
absolutely, sir.
there was a quite fast recovery of 3,000 apartments selling in a month is a quite fast recovery. While having
Absolutely,
said
sir.
that, I said that as well earlier, that it may not be the same behavior that we had seen in last or post COVID-19.
Okay,
So
okay,
that's where it is. Having said that, there are still concerns in the consumer's mind, but it is the right time for partners like us. And this is actually a collaboration time. It's a technology time. It's a collaboration time. So as much as we collaborate, as much as we become technology savvy, that is what is going to help us. Many home buyers are concerned whether the EMI may get, whether I'll be able to pay the EMI, my job is secure, my pay cut is there, or incentives are there, or appraisals are there or not. But still, in this timeline, we still have great response coming from a buyer. And they are buyer. It's not that the market is right now. And this is not the last or the first thing that has happened where you have slowed down the number of transaction or sentiments. It's just, I think it is as rightly pointed out by Balaji, it will get over. It will
right,
take due course of time. It will come back. The next data point that I do want to share with you, which is shared by a very renowned developer, that there's a intensive demand supply is coming in, demand coming in from NRI market.
right.
Because they also felt that there has to be back home. I think that
Yes,
is
yes.
what
I think that's a very key point.
yes, I think that is what people are really, really thinking, and they want to go back home, and that's why they need to have in home there. So any market you pick up, there will be requirement. There is increase in the requirement coming through the NRI market, and they're very positive that I want to go and get these apartment.
So absolutely, I think
Anyway,
devaluation.
yeah. So if you really look at it, in 2013 we used to roughly sell 5,50,000 apartment in a year. If you take the data of 2013.
Right,
While if you take the data of 17, 18, we completely went down to roughly 2,60,000 apartment
right,
in these years. So then it shows the market went down not due to COVID. It was for many reasons of oversupply or many other reasons of government taxes coming in. So that happened. If you really ask at that point of time, boss, kitna apartment, how many apartment be able to sell? Anybody without anything, they'll say over the next 7 years, we'll maybe able to sell roughly a 10 lakhs apartment or 11 lakhs apartment, maybe double. But that's not the case. The case here is that we are now currently from 2,60,000 apartment a year have got down to 1,70,000 apartment. And that also with a lot of consolidation happening and taking place. So there is, as I said, it is a collaboration and consolidation in the time now. So there'll be a lot of products which will be coming up, and we'll be able to sell roughly 170,000 apartment. This year that's our thought is what it is we have. And what on a strategy, if you really ask me, it will not be the same way, Rahul. Let me tell you, it will genuinely not be the same way. It's the new way of working. So it will be more of digital platform, virtual site tour. We see
right.
client will try and save their time, but they used to go 5 times, 6 times on these site visits. They may want to do twice, thrice, but before 2, 3 times, they may want to use it over digital, maybe use it through technology. So they may want to do all that. You had a question on what is selling.
Yes. So that's what is in the overall mix of things, because Anrock has data from pan India. So just a few thoughts on what is selling according to you.
So in Bombay within BM, I'm just saying MMR region, the 2 BHK apartment in a right sized and right priced apartments are having attraction currently also, and we are currently as well selling. But it is the right size, and it is not because of COVID-19. It was the case also 2 months back when what was selling was 2 BHK apartment, rightly sized and rightly priced in the micro market, and 1 BHK apartment from affordable segment was selling.
Okay.
What I think this work from home culture will also bring, it will not just bring the change in behavior, it will also bring the change, it will require to bring change in product as well. Because while we living in the house today, I am sitting here and I never had planned that I will have a work from home culture coming through. So I think what we will have to think through is that what can we design? So probably 1 BHK, maybe you want to introduce a small study room, which may convert into the office space. So the project design also will change in time to come.
Absolutely, sir. And so now moving on. Yeah. Yeah,
Sorry.
go on.
Yeah, you have something. Go ahead.
So we all actually so happy to know that during this time, I mean, the $1 million question, how did Anurag manage to sell an inventory of 250 crores? I mean, that's quite a feat. We'd all love to know and replicate this strategy.
So people like you were very closely associated, and we thought it is a collaborative time, and a lot of channel partner helped us do this, our association, and then we were able to do that. And I'll tell you critically what we did. We took some time because nobody was aware that this is going to happen. What will be the next trend? So we went back to our boardroom and we thought what we can do. So with three things that we did, the best thing that we firstly contacted our most strong partners such as you. We got associated with them. I said, and then the thought was that what should we do? Then what should we do? We introduced three things in the market. One was that end-to-end services over digital and technology platform together. So you can see the product, you can see the property, you can book the apartment over internet itself and select your apartment. So that's the first thing that we redesigned the booking process of the project. You know, many products have been seen. People know the product, they know the location, they know the size. It's just that they were waiting for the right time. I think they got this right time.
So you're not audible now, Raji? Raji, are you audible?
Something in the
So we missed the last part. I'm sorry. You're not audible through the last. Hello.
Rahul, am I audible? Am I audible?
Yeah. Now, sir. Yes.
Okay. So I think the connection of internet is still unstable.
Yeah. Yes.
So I'm saying, so what is there? I think there is a lot of demand coming through on RTMI inventory, and there's a lot of developer who are really offering a sweet deal at this point of time, and that has helped us. A reduction in home loan genuinely has helped us, and payment flexibility is the another thing that has helped us. So all the developer have friends like you have really given a great flexibility to the buyer to build the confidence that yes, everything will be all fine. Please book an apartment. We are there. And I think those 3-4 elements has really give us this confidence and this result over last couple of 40-45 days timeline.
Sir, congratulations on such an amazing feat. I mean, we're all really, really proud that something of this magnitude was achieved during this time.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Moving on to our next panelist, Mr. Sharma ji. You've been a veteran, having 20 plus years experience in real estate advisory. So we'd like you to throw some light on how to maintain a good working relationship with channel partners, because we have a lot of viewers today who are primarily channel partners. So just a few thoughts on that, sir.
Thank you, Rahul. Just to give some perspective, the equation between a developer and the channel partner over the last 10 years has gone through a big different waves. So there was a time when buyers would wait outside developer sites to buy. So those were the times when maybe brokers were not needed as much, or their need wasn't felt as much, and brokerage rates were perhaps 1%. And today we have a time when a lot of inventory is available but not selling, and brokerage rates have 4%, 7%, 10%. We hear all kinds of numbers. So with this perspective, I think the fact is that today channel partners contribute between 60 and 70% of developer sales.
Absolutely.
And I am very surprised and shocked with the relationship that the industry has with channel partners. This is perhaps the only industry I know where the distribution network doesn't really have a role in the core processes of developers. If you go to FMCG, if you go to any other industry, the distribution network is highly respected one, whereas in our industry, it goes through phases. So every time there are launches, channel partners are wooed with everything. I think the key question is, are we building a relationship with channel partners? And especially for developers who want to play the long game, who have a lot of inventory, a lot of projects and want to be in this for a long time, I think the key is to first build a relationship with the channel partner rather than just looking at that person as, he will get me some client or he'll get some site visits.
Absolutely.
Done. I think that is the starting point of building a foundation with the channel partner. The second point is, all of us who are in the organized sector or in organizations, large organizations, always think about ourselves, our growth strategies, our business model, our plans, our team members. How many of us think of the real estate broker's needs, his goals, his plans? I think when you start thinking about their life, when you start spending time with them outside of a project launch, that is when you start understanding, what that partner brings to the table, what can he do for you, or what kind of a client base can he bring to you, what strategies can he play jointly along with a developer, what are his challenges, what are his fears. Because
Right.
we must not forget that ultimately when a channel partner deals with customers, that channel partner is showing multiple homes to that customer.
Absolutely.
He is not showing only one developer's home. And that is where relationship, the client also looks at the channel partner as an advisor. So if you have a purely transactional relationship in terms of brokerage payment or the percentage payment, the risk for that developer is to be lower in the mind frame of the channel partner as well as the customer.
Right.
So I think the key is to build length of relationship. Think about the channel partner genuinely as your partner and not just one
During
end
launches.
of the transaction.
Absolutely, sir. Totally agree. So now a lot of channel partners are here in this webinar. They also wanted how to deal with the ongoing environment. That's another question, how to deal clients, how do they talk to clients and how do they deal for the environment now? And like I said, post-COVID period, how do we deal with them?
Yes. So, of course, a lot of experts have spoken about COVID, what is happening during COVID, what will happen post-COVID. But let me step back and highlight that our real estate industry has been going through shocks for the last 8 years. The peak of the real estate industry, if you see industry-wide data for top 7 cities, top 8 cities, the peak was in 2012. And that is when even prices had peaked.
Yes.
So we are in a downfall or in flat times for the last 8 years.
Right.
But during the same time, you also have players like Godrej, Lodha, and now Piramal, which is a newly formed entity, and a lot of such people. You guys have done well. I think channel partners, because they are individuals or working in small groups, what I've seen, a lot of them are my friends. I'm also on a lot of WhatsApp groups of channel partners. The tendency is to get scared. The tendency is to fear that something bad is coming. I can very well point out that during all of these problematic 8 years, there are a lot of developers who have grown multiple times, who are doing businesses of their lifetime. So the key for a channel partner is, first of all, move away from this noise. Identify your set of developers, your set of professional agencies whom you want to work with, and work out a scientific criteria that who is the right developer to work with. A developer who believes in delivering homes on time, a developer who deals in a very organized manner with the channel partner, a developer who pays you on time. We still hear horror stories from our channel partner friends that so and so developer has not been paying brokerage for 6 months, 1 year. But then the next day you see the same channel partner is still selling that property. I'm saying you have the choice to walk away from such people when there are so many large developers, when there are so many professional people who are entering and doing well. What is the need to stick to someone just because of old times? So I think from a channel partner's point of view, while they're great relationship people, they also should take decisions based on data, hard facts, based on feedback from their friends
Yes.
in the industry, rather than just going on the basis of either relationship or emotions. The other key point what I observe is, uh, when you see some developer doing good sales, or someone doing large business, uh, I rarely see channel partners responding to that. Wow, so much has been done. Let's understand how it happens. If you see in any industry, all of us also keep track of what our competitors are doing, what the top players in the industry are doing, and we look to learn from them.
Right.
I think as a channel partner, you should be doing that. See who are the guys doing business. Go and understand what is it that is helping them do business. Figure out a way to be part of that chain. Number one. Number two, if you are in a certain locality, it is very easy to find out who are the top performing channel partners in that locality, or the top performing channel partners for a particular developer, for a particular region, or for a particular type of product.
Absolutely.
Understand from the trade, understand from the market, what is it that that channel partner is doing well. I mean, we have, people like Apple and all also took inspiration from other tech companies. Why can't we in this industry do the same thing, which is take inspiration from the best performers, even if they are our competitors?
Absolutely,
So what
sir.
I
I
would
agree.
like to say is that, Corona will come, go, lot of things will come and go. If you are focused on who the top players are or what are the right trends, let us capture those trends rather than worrying about some small part of the industry which is not doing well.
Very well said, sir. Very well, sir. Thank you, Sharma ji, for your insight.
Thank you.
Moving on to Prashar. Prashar has always been a South Mumbai player, Shivaji Park born and raised. Prashar, yes, sir. Your take on luxury real estate and what could be the key selling points that a channel partner can convince, can talk to clients and convince the fence-sitting buyers.
Hi, Rahul. Thank you very much. It's a great to being part of this discussion. Okay, so now, guys, we all I am very very happy to learn from my friends and all my realtor friends, all my broker friends. Uh, since the last 1 month, have been educating themselves, have created a value for themselves. So there is no better time than now to do business, because previously, we were just called, channel partners, brokers, but now we bring something to the table. Now the broker has become educated. Now he will bring value to his customers. So for all the fence sitters, for all the clients in Sobo, in the suburbs who are looking to buy a property, they will connect with the brokers. Brokers will now become more of advisors. So that is a very good opportunity which I feel for the for the real estate sector, where we will be educating the customer as well, just not showing them the apartment. Now is also the right time for our customers to start to start bottom fishing. Now, bottom fishing is when the markets are absolutely low. There are great deals in the market. All developers, or rather majority of the developers, will now focus on cash flow. They will not be looking at making money or looking at the profit line. They will not look at their top line. They will look at to maintain their cash flows. So now is a great time for our clients, for anyone who's looking to buy a property, the person who's sitting on the fence to buy now. Opportunities are by the bundle. There is a lot of inventory in the micro suburbs. Micro markets are going to do well now, and I feel even all the gated communities, all the standalone buildings, eventually, I mean, not now, but eventually, give it 3 months, 6 months down the line, there will be a demand. And for our channel partners, for luxury sales, for the luxury buyers, from the developer side, they will be doing their digital whatever they need to do online. But
Support.
a person who's buying a luxury apartment needs to come face to face with a realtor, needs to come face to face with a developer. So here I feel that we are still going to be in business. There is a lot of money to be made, and there will be business. We just need to go and pick our own piece of the pie. So I think there will be a lot of the density, rather the quantum of deals will be a little slow at first, but nevertheless, eventually there will be a good demand. Is what I feel, Rahul.
Thank you, Prashant. Your take on NRI? Has NRI audience gained much more importance with the devaluation of the rupee? Do you think that is a big market for realtors to tap?
Oh yes, absolutely. So now this pandemic has caused the aspirational shortage. Now, what is that? Now, the aspirational shortage is the shortage of one bedroom, and we all are facing it. Everyone will be facing it now. A person who has got a 1 BHK will now need a 2, a person who's got 2 will need a 3, and so on and so forth. We all need that one bedroom for our den, for our workplace.
Absolutely.
This work from home concept will pick up. Anyone who can afford a home will move into a bigger house. All the NRIs who have been out of the country will now realize that they need a base back home. It will not be a monetary decision. They will not be looking to make money out of the property. They will want it as an emotional connect, and it will be more of a safety net, what they need to keep.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So since the last 45 days, businesses have changed their strategies. People who are all the NRIs who have suffered will now look at parking part of their funds in a safe net, and I don't see anything more safe than 4 walls. So 4 walls is the best place to put your money in, is what I feel. So this is what I feel, Rahul.
Thank you, Prashant. Thank you so much for your insights. To our final panelist, Amit, you have been a silent player, and you've always known to be achieving the numbers for all the real estate players. Just a few thoughts on luxury versus need buying in the current situation, and also what are the marketing strategies channel partners can adopt to realign themselves and their businesses.
Hey, thanks, Rahul. First of all, let me thank all the panelists. I think they have already done a lot of value addition, each one of you, right from Mr. Balaji and Mr. Raj Singh ji, Sharma ji, Prashant, you guys have really done a lot of value addition to the webinar. Very insightful points, and I've in fact noted a few of them. Coming back to Rahul's question, so Rahul, first of all, let's look at the mindset of the customers today. They're all going to be very tentative, quite uncertain. People will be nervous and very question from the buyers. And this question is, when is the right time to buy real estate? Well, this answer is simply yes, and it's today, it's now. There can't be a better time than now to buy into a real estate investment. If we were to look at the last 3 years or so, like Harish mentioned, and we have all witnessed that the prices have constantly been bottoming. They've just bottomed out. They're constantly coming down. So first it was demonetization to hit us, then it was GST, then it was RERA. But real estate has been resilient. Although the prices have gone down, the developers kept on making their sales happen. So the prices have really bottomed out. This is an opportunity for us to basically get in touch with the customers and make them realize that, look, this is the best time possible.
Right.
Also, at the same time, we have seen a meltdown in terms of the equity markets, mutual fund markets. People have really lost a lot of money. And this is where they have started realizing the value of making a A-class investment, that is, buying a home or making a A-class asset investment. With regards to the other part of your question, with regards to the strategies which we need to develop as channel partners, Well, it's going to be very difficult for us for the first few months. We'll really need to be innovative. Digital for sure is the new norm, and we for sure don't have any escape. I think from the from the developers' perspective, they will have to be present on the digital platforms. They will have to be present on all the social media platforms. They will have to build stories around it. They will have to show their work progress through this channel. They will have to be in touch with the channel partners, keep them posted about the progress. And I think, like a few of our panelists and Harishi clearly mentioned, it's all about connecting with the channel partner. I think it really made sense. Once you build a relationship with a channel partner, he will start thinking about you. He will start working for you. And I'm quite opinionated in that matter, that it is this relationship which works. So while digital is the new norm, it is very important to understand that digital marketing is very expensive, and hence the developers will resort to the traditional marketing activities as well, which is simply cold calling. As brokers, we need to do very simple, just the basics. Reach out to your old customers, go and talk to your old clients, talk out for references, have a good mix of digital as well as the traditional marketing concepts mixed together. Work in coordination with the developers, understand their expect, give them the feedback and the review of what the customers are thinking. And yes, above all, we'll have to learn to be patient. So a real estate home, buying into a real estate investment is not just an emotional decision, but it's a far more bigger decision. Sometimes it just takes a while. No amount of digital spend or push will make the sale happen. It happens when it happens. But what you really need to do is just be persistent, be consistent, go with the flow, have belief in yourself, and work closely with the developer, and you will have the results.
Thanks, Amit. I think, like you said, and Mr. Sharma ji said, relationship with channel partners goes a long way. Just on this note, Amit, you've been associated with Suraj for a long time. Just a few words on our association with Suraj and how you thought, how our relationship has evolved over the period of time.
For sure, Rahul. I must add that firstly, all my clients have had a very beautiful site experience at Palette and whatever we've been selling the other sites. I think not just me, but our clients have absolutely reviewed us that they've had a great experience at the site. You are one of the developers who basically offers a lot of value for money. And I must appreciate that you have a fairly decent sales team. We have often experienced as channel partners that when we work with large developers, we have a little stress on us or pressure in terms of bringing about a sale. But I think with your organization, just never felt it. It was very, very comfortable. I must also thank you personally that you have taken very keen interest in us, and you have taken the opportunity to go ahead and meet our customers. Now, here as channel partners, I think I really want to bring this point across. When we work with large developers, we don't get an opportunity to deal with the owners. We are just dealing with the sales team. But here with developers like Suraj, Rahul personally takes interest in your clients. And if he's going to meet your customers, it makes a very big impact. It actually shows your value with the developer. And the client will also get a very, very good experience once he deals with the owner personally. With Rahul, the kind of portfolio that you have, the kind of land parcels, I absolutely look forward. I think you have a lot to offer. You guys have been really silent in the market. I think a developer who doesn't advertise much but offers far more value. And in one way or the other, rather than spending huge budgets on the advertising front, you guys are happy to give it out in the form of discounting. I truly appreciate that strategy. I think it will work in the longer run.
Thank you, Amit. Thank you for those kind words. Thank you to all our panelists for sharing your insights, which has encompassed, I think, most of the aspects of this real estate forum. Webinars today have become the new normal. We as human beings are the most adaptive species, continuously adapting to our surroundings, changing to suit the environment we live in. Just as we are adapting to this new normal of social distancing and taking precautions of COVID-19. I take this opportunity to urge my fellow friends to use this time to prepare, strategize, introspect for the time post-COVID-19. Never would we get this time to realign ourselves, our business, and our personal growth. The idea of bringing this forum together was to get like-minded people through a knowledge share, help us get ready for tomorrow. We at Suraj are gearing up for this tomorrow. We as a group have completed over 36 projects, delivered over 2,000 homes, and in the market since 1986. We have 10 ongoing sites currently at various levels of completion in the Dadar Prabhadevi Mahim belt. We're catering to all ticket sizes from 1 BHKs to 4 BHKs, from ready inventory to under construction. To name a few icons of Suraj, we've constructed, and proudly say it, that we constructed the Saraswat Bank corporate office at Prabhadevi. We constructed the entire corporate office for Clearing Corporation of India, an RBI subsidiary, and sold an entire building to National Stock Exchange. As a group, our strategy is reach out to all your channel partners, build a one-on-one rapport, and grow together towards a better tomorrow. To give you an insight on our sales achievement for the financial year 1920, we had achieved a top-line revenue of 200 crores in the last year, and with the addition of 3 new launches in the small ticket size of 1 and 2 BHK in Mahim, Matunga, and Prabhadevi planned later this year, we will be having a sales potential of approximately 1,300 crores for the year 2021. My friends, there's a huge opportunity for my channel partners to work with Suraj. We personally invite all of you to achieve this target and grow together. Over to Indrajit to give you project level insights and the brokerage ladder. Thanks and Jai Hind. Over to you, Indrajit.
Namaste and good evening to everyone. I am Indrajit Singh Lamba. I head the sales vertical of our company. Thank you so much, Rahul, and all our esteemed panelists for such deep insight of the current situation and industry and showing us the way ahead, which I believe will help every one of us who is attending this webinar today. I always follow this quote: half of the battle is won the moment we decide to play. With this, it gives me immense pleasure and honor in saying that Suraj Estate Developer was awarded the Best Developer of the Year 2019 by CNBC News 18. I certainly relate and agree to what Mr. Raj and Prasad just said. That luxury segment will definitely increase in due course of time, taking in consideration the price factor, of course, looking at certain aspects like maintenance of the project, bigger space inside their apartments, and many residents. As we all know, Mumbai is also known for its landmark luxury residences and glamour for sure. To put more light on it, I present to you all our iconic flagship luxury project, The Palette. Palette offers you 2 and 3 BHK customized sea-facing residences. It is one of the tallest residential project in Dadar, tastefully designed by award-winning architect Mr. Sanjay Puri ji. And to add more to it, the construction partners are none other than the Arabian Construction Company. There are many unique features of this project. To highlight a few is its location, located at the heart of the city near Siddhivinayak Temple at SK Bole Road, with all major world-class amenities inside the project. Moving to the financial part, we have APFs from all leading banks, and also a very key point in today's market is our projects are funded. All our projects are funded, and specifically Palette has been funded by Piramal Capital. Coming to the next slide, आप सभी अपने स्क्रीन पे देख सकते हैं हमारे 2 and 3 BHK के कॉन्फ़िगरेशन. 2 BHK के कॉन्फ़िगरेशन की शुरुआत होती है 905 कारपेट से, with 3 BHK 1106, which I believe is a perfect size for a 3 BHK, but there is an add-on to it. It is accompanied by 2 BHK luxury sea-facing unit of 3 BHK each, with an carpet area of almost 1500. So on every floor, we have 4 units with restrooms at every mid-landing. And to add to this, we have more than 300 car parking space for roughly 100 plus families. This is a clear example of exquisite lifestyle and community living. We have reached our 10th slab, as you can see in the next slide, where the work is in full swing. अब आपके और हमारे सभी के इंटरेस्ट की बात, we have very good inventory and carpet available at Palette, where we have successfully sold 40% of the inventory. So that means there is lots for every one of you in this catchment with regards to Palette. Coming to our next prestigious project is Ocean Star. Ocean Star, as the name speaks it for all. Ocean Star offers you sea residences. When we say sea residences, we literally mean sea residences. Every single apartment offers you endless sea view of Arabian Sea and mesmerizing view of beautiful Worli ceiling. Here again, we have proposed world-class external amenities and skillfully designed residences with floor-to-ceiling height of 11.8 feet clear. This is a project, again, designed by our chief architect, Mr. Sanjay Puri ji, who is a brand in itself, an Arabian construction company which needs no introduction today. Ocean Star has APS from all leading banks, and to add more value to it, Tata Capital has funded the entire project. At Ocean Star, we offer you 2 units of 3 BHK on every floor with ample car park space inside the project. As we can all see on our screens, we have successfully completed the 7th slab. The next point, 7th slab in no time. Now at Ocean Star, we have very good inventory to work on, and I would request every one of you who is watching this webinar to help us to cater all your elite clients, make them experience our luxury segment. Now moving on to our next luxury address. We have a ready to move in project with OC received. This project defines opulence and status. A project which literally gives you the real look, feel, and home to big and bright families together. I present to you all Mangarish. Mangarish stands apart from all the developments that you must have seen at Prabhadevi. It offers you a living room as big as 800 carpet, bedroom size as big as 300 carpet. This project actually is one of the iconic sea residences. It has aesthetic views from all 4 sides. In front, from all rooms, we have complete ceiling to Siddhivinayak temple on the left, to Shivaji Park view on the other side. At Mangarish, we offer you 4 BHK apartments only with a carpet area of 2200 plus square feet with single unit every floor. We have very limited inventory with ample car park space inside the project, and to add, icing on the cake is its unmatched maintenance as low as rupees 10 on carpet. Yes, it is rupees 10 on carpet. So I would request every one of you to please go back to your ready to move in elite clients data, search for all ready to move in requests for 4 BHK OC received seafront projects. We are here to help you and meet all your clients' expectations. Now, coming to the next project, we move to our value home segment. I present to you all Ave Maria. Ave Maria हमारा सबसे बड़ा evergreen segment रहा है. In fact, हमारे पूरे portfolio में 1 and 2 BHK का segment सबसे fast moving रहा है by default. The entire project is beautifully designed and located right next to our project palette at SK Bhole Road near Siddhivinayak temple, offering excellent carpet area as we can all see on our screen, starting from 400 plus carpet for 1 BHKs to 667 plus carpet for 2 BHKs. This again have breathtaking views, which is one of the best USPs of our project, with again Shivaji Park view on the other side from few apartments. As we can all see in our next slide, our work has already reached the 13th slab. Again in this project, we have Saraswat Bank as our key funding partner. Now, talking more on our value homes, as we all saw in the above slides, which Rahul just showcased, and to add Ave Maria as our ongoing project, we are also in process of launching 3 new projects, which I believe is very important part of our discussion today. We are very happy to announce that post-lockdown, we are soon going to launch our 3 major projects at Matunga near Vijay Sales, very close to Shivaji Park Fire Station. Second is at Mahim, and third at Cattle Road, Dadar. In all these 3 projects, we are going to concentrate on our fast-moving inventory, that is 1 and 2 BHK segment. In all, we have very good inventory to sell today and exciting projects post-lockdown. I would like to share with you all our last year's success story. It's really a very big success story. It was one of the biggest successful launches of 2019, and I am very proud to say I present to you all Louis Andra. Louis Andra is a 22-story tower which we have sold in a record time of 4 months. Yes, सिर्फ 4 महीनों में हमने पूरी इन्वेंट्री बेच दी. किसके साथ? आप सभी के साथ. You were our partners. More than 65%. हमें बहुत अच्छा लगता है जब हम बोलते हैं more than 65% of the inventory is sold by only and only our channel partners. This is how the interest and the engagement of Suraj has been with all his channel partners. आप देख सकते हैं हमारे नेक्स्ट स्लाइड पे कि हमारा काम भी लगभग 95% कंप्लीट हो गया है फाइलिंग का. इस प्रोजेक्ट की यूएसपी थी उसका लोकेशन वाज गोखले रोड. दूसरा यूएसपी था कि हमारा सेगमेंट 1 and 2 BHK. अब मैं हमारे साथ आप ही के बीच आप ही जैसे हमारे 2 बहुत ही बेहतरीन चैनल पार्टनर जिन्होंने एक्सेप्शनल काम किया है सूरज डेवलपर्स के साथ, उन्हें इनवाइट करता हूं एज आवर panelists to speak on Suraj Developer and how their relation has been with the developer. So first, I would like to invite Mr. Vishal Kapoor.
Yeah, hi Indrajit.
Vishal ji, how are you, sir?
All good, Indrajit. And hello to everyone.
Yes. Vishal ji, if I can ask you, how is the relation with the sales team and specifically with Rahul ji?
So Suraj is like a family brother. Right from Rahul to the entire team, you know, everybody is accessible, and they are so charged up that with their positive energy, you know, we are always there.
Super. Sir, मैंने ये भी सुना है कि you are known as the monopoly king of the affordable segment of South Bombay. Sir, if you can just put some light on it, आप कैसे करते हो? क्या आपके वो पैतरे होते जिस तरीके से आप क्या स्ट्रैटेजीज होती है जो आप यूज कर रहे टू सेल सच बिग यूनिट्स? आई हैव सीन योर रिकॉर्ड्स विद so many big developers, to name a few like Kanakya, Lodha, or plus Suraj also.
Yeah, of course. There is no strategy. It is just about understanding what the people want, and of course, when you have a good relationship with people like you, you know, our job becomes so simple. So
Great.
Understand what the requirement is, bring it up to you, and get what is required.
Super. Sir, और एक चीज मुझे आपसे पूछना था, व्यूअर्स के भी दिमाग में होगा, in terms of the brokerage payments, how has that been? If you can just tell us, all our viewers, the actual truth, how we deal.
So it's definitely working with Suraj, and when it comes to brokerage, it is always feather in the cap. Needless to say, you know, you don't have to ask for it. You just get it.
Thank you so much for your time and all your support, sir. We look forward for having a huge association with you, as we have also signed an annual agreement with you. So we look forward, sir. Thank you so much.
Definitely, we'll be there with you always.
Thank you so much. Now, second, I would like to invite Mr. Arun Pawar ji.
Yes, Indrajit.
Namaste, Arun Pawar ji.
नमस्ते.
हाँ जी. सर, आपसे थोड़ा जानना था कि आपका एसोसिएशन कैसे रहा है और आपका क्या टेक है हमारे सारे प्रोजेक्ट्स को, और स्पेसिफिकली हमारी सेल्स टीम और जो भी हमारे प्रोसेस और प्रोजेक्ट्स बनते हैं, जो सेगमेंट में हम काम करते हैं, उसके बारे में.
मैं तो सेंट्रल और साउथ मुंबई में डील करता हूं, और ये जो दादर माटुंगा प्रभा देवी का एरिया, वही मेरा टेरिटरी है, तो ज्यादा जो मैं वहीं पे डील करता हूं. और लास्ट 2 साल से मैं सूरज के साथ एसोसिएट हूं. दादर प्रभा देवी के बहुत सारे प्रोजेक्ट के लिए मैंने किया है काम. स्पेसिफिकली लुइस एंड्रा के लिए किया है. लुइस एंड्रा के लिए मैंने अच्छा बिजनेस किया है, और जो सेल्स मैनेजर है निर्मल है, यश है, वो अच्छा कोऑपरेशन करते हैं क्लाइंट को. मतलब जब भी मेरे को कुछ क्वेरीज होता था तो वो अच्छे से एक्सप्लेन करते थे. और नेक्स्ट थिंग, जो राहुल सर है, राहुल सर के पास अगर मीटिंग में जाए तो क्लाइंट का भी मतलब ये नहीं होता. तो काफी अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस है. डायरेक्टर खुद अभी भी पैनल में भी बोल रहे थे कि डायरेक्टर अमित ने भी बोला था कि राहुल सर खुद बात करते तो क्लाइंट को काफी ट्रस्ट होता है। मेरा भी डील ऐसा ही हुआ। यू डोंट हैव टू टॉक मच, राहुल सर और क्लाइंट एक बार बैठ जाएंगे तो दे विल क्लोज द डील्स। और ब्रोकरेज का है तो ब्रोकरेज ऑन टाइम नहीं, बिफोर टाइम मिलता है। So I'm very happy. I'm very happy with dealing with Suraj Builder and looking forward to work for in future also.
सर मैंने आपकी एक स्ट्रैटेजी हमारे हर लॉन्च पे देखी है और वही मैं आपसे एक्सपेक्ट करता हूँ और रिक्वेस्ट भी करता हूँ कि आप वो सर वापस से तैयार रखना। सून वी आर गोइंग टू लॉन्च 3 न्यू प्रोजेक्ट्स पोस्ट लॉकडाउन। तो सर मैंने आपको देखा है आप लॉन्च से बिल्कुल थोड़े दिन पहले आते हो, हमारा इन्वेंट्री लेते हो और कैसे स्ट्रैटेजाइज करते हैं। आपकी जो वॉक-इन्स आते हैं एज अ सिंगल मैन आर्मी, यू वर्क रिलेंटलेसली, लाइक आप दिन में 4-4, 5-5, 6-6 क्लाइंट्स लाते हो। सर व्हाट इज द स्ट्रैटेजी और द पुल टुवर्ड्स द ब्रांड?
मेरा जो स्ट्रैटेजी क्या है कि जो क्लाइंट का रिक्वायरमेंट हम लोग समझते हैं पहले। रेडी कौन सा स्पेसिफिक टेरिटरी, सपोज जिसको दादर में चाहिए तो उसका एक लिस्ट बना सकते हैं हम लोग कि दे आर लुकिंग फॉर अ दादर एरिया। जब भी हम लोग क्लाइंट से बात करते हैं तो अपने को समझ में आता है ही कैन वेट फॉर 1 ईयर और इसको रेडी चाहिए, अंडर कंस्ट्रक्शन चाहिए, वैल्यू फॉर मनी चाहिए। तो एक बार वो माइंड में बैठ जाने के बाद जो भी प्रोजेक्ट आता है वो सॉर्ट आउट करने का, वो प्रोजेक्ट उनको ऑफर करने का। आई हैव द क्लाइंट हु इज लुकिंग फॉर ओनली दादर में ही चाहिए था उनको प्रॉपर्टी। तो जैसा ही मुझे इन्फॉर्मेशन मिल गया या यश ने इसने बताया था निर्मल ने, तो मैं उनको ऑफर किया। तो उन्होंने जस्ट 1-2 बार देखा है, देन ही तो क्लाइंट का रिक्वायरमेंट और बजट अंडरस्टैंड करना पड़ता है। इफ यू नो द थिंग्स तो फिर एवरीथिंग विल बी सिंपल। नहीं तो ज्यादा
क्लाइंट का एक्सपीरियंस कैसा रहा है सर हमारे प्रोजेक्ट्स और साइट ऑफिस?
बहुत अच्छा, साइट ऑफिस पे अच्छा था। उनका जो भी क्वेरीज था सब उनका डाउट क्लियर हो गया। साइट उन्होंने पर्सनली देखा, तो साइट देखने के बाद और ऑफिस में आने के बाद तो काफी ट्रस्ट बढ़ गया था। और फिर बाद में आइसिंग ऑन होके राहुल सर से बात किया तो ही क्लोज द डील। नाउ ही इज वेरी हैप्पी। वो इस कंसर्न वाज कि अरे होगा नहीं होगा, कब होगा। तो ट्रस्ट एक बार सर से मिलने के बाद ट्रस्ट आ गया। प्रोजेक्ट देखने के बाद दूसरे प्रोजेक्ट देखे जो रेडी पोजीशन, रेडी जो प्रोजेक्ट है अपने इन्वेंटरी वो देखे तो उनको काफी ट्रस्ट आ गया।
ग्रेट सर, ऐसे ही सपोर्ट हम वापस आपसे रिक्वेस्ट करते हैं। वी लुक फॉरवर्ड फॉर अ ग्रेटर एसोसिएशन विद यू टू सर। थैंक यू सो मच।
इंद्रजीत, थैंक
यू सो मच।
थैंक यू।
मूविंग ऑन, सो द मोमेंट that we all are waiting for, after so much talking from my side, Suraj Estate Developer presents to you all for the first time an exclusive limited period offer for next quarter. अगले 90 दिनों के लिए we have a very special offer and scheme for Avemaria, straight 3% on all deals. Yes, सारे डील्स के ऊपर आपको 3% ब्रोकरेज मिलेगी। ऑल आर 1 BHK, 2 BHK और 3 BHK अपार्टमेंट्स कंबाइंड, एंड ऑन ऑल आर लग्जरी सेगमेंट, दैट इज पैलेट, ओशन स्टार एंड रेडी टू मूव इन मांगरीश, वी आर ऑफरिंग स्ट्रेट 2.5% ऑन एवरी सिंगल डील फॉर नेक्स्ट 90 डेज। सो आज से 90 दिनों तक आपकी टैगिंग बढ़ गई है। जहां पे हमने 60 डेज रखा था, हमने उसको बढ़ा के 120 डेज कर दिया है। प्लस हमने जहां पे हमारे ब्रोकरेज का स्लैब हमेशा से 2% था, हमने उसको एक्सटेंड करके 3% किया और कुछ प्रोजेक्ट्स में 2.5 किया है। एंड इट स्टार्ट्स फ्रॉम द फर्स्ट डील। टू मेक इट मोर अट्रैक्टिव, we have started our exclusive customer centric expression of interest scheme, which really adds value to your efforts, where all your clients can pay just rupees 1 lakh for 1 BHK and book their dream home, 2 lakh for a 2 BHK and 3 lakh for 3 BHK apartment. And all these amounts are completely refundable if there is any change in the plan from your customer's end. So with assurance, we are saying this. Post booking, we assure you to clear all your brokerages and payments in just 15 working days. You can please mind my words when I'm saying just 15 working days. This has never happened from, I have never heard it from any developer in our market particularly. 15 दिनों में आपकी पूरी brokerage release हो जाएगी after the realization of the payment of your client. सिर्फ 15 ही दिनों में. Now, I request all our dear channel partners to come to our site office, meet us, get details from all our managers. Can I have the slide of our managers? Discuss with us regarding your clients, their requirements. We ensure you getting every client fruitful and amazing experience also on the site. We will make sure on priority every single case will be looked minutely and will be activated on time. So everyone who has certain definite targets for this financial year 2020 and 2021 also, this is the right time and the right inventory. We have a huge range ready to move in apartments to under construction and early possession as early as 2021 June. I would request every one of you to realign your inventory sheets and look at Suraj Estate Developer as your own partner, where we together grow with a focused target every quarter. And also, we will make sure all your efforts will be fruitful, for sure. Also, would like to add, we are open to ideas and annual business agreements with all our dear partners, where we can look into all possibilities like digital marketing support, telecalling support, and corporate events. Last but not the least, I would like to speak on our remobilizing plans. हमारे सारे laborers हर साइट पर stationed है, हम उनके सारे daily necessities पर काम कर रहे हैं, उनका पूरा देखभाल रख रहे हैं. Every site is being sanitized thoroughly every single day. And the moment we get a green signal from our government authorities, we are in a position to start our work in full swing. Thank you so much. Jai Hind, and over to Nikhil. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, each one of our attendees and our panelists as well. One thing that we learned from the discussion, that irrespective of these problems, our passion towards real estate and the work is not deterred. And I'm sure post-COVID we'll be able to achieve better. Please reach out to us for any queries, and this video will be available on Facebook in case if you need to review it, and share it with the team. Thank you.